Students in my history courses want to see relevance. In fact, I've had students just last week, first day of class, asking them sort of why they're in the course, what do they want out of it? And the student says, I want to see how history is relevant. I want you to make it relevant to today. So they're very explicit. So students, they do not resist connections between past and present. They have this like nagging feeling that history maybe should help them today and maybe help them become a more informed and wise citizen, but they don't quite understand why, or they don't have the tools to make those connections. So in my courses, I can't make all the connections for them. We only have 15 weeks or so forth. But I try to give them the tools so that for the rest of their lives, they can always ask the question about whatever's going on in their life today. Why? Where did this come from? And they'll know how to go answer it. And to do that, primary sources and getting students to become investigators of the past is really crucial. That's where they're going to develop the skills to then, any time in the rest of their life, they can put a present-day problem in historic perspective. So sometimes there's a little trepidation at first, but by the end of a course, I tend to get feedback from students that that was what they appreciated the most. That they were not just getting me standing there filling their heads with what I thought about the past, but was instead turning them into the history detectives to go back and to figure things out for themselves. That they appreciate. They also think it's just super cool to see what was produced so long ago, to see exactly what it looked like. When they see, say, a newspaper on a ReadX database, they see something that is part of their everyday lives today, newspapers. And so they can connect with that. It's very immediate and familiar and real to them. And then that becomes the entree to get them to really, really start digging in deep to understand what happened way back when. And so my favorite things to do are to identify a large collection of sources, and digital archives are wonderful for this, where I can just ask them a question and send them loose and see what they come up with. That they really love to do that. Students are always eager to see those connections between the past and their own time. And I think some of the greatest light bulb moments that happen in the classroom are when a student thinks, oh, that's just like what we see today. Or, wait, things are so much different now. When they bring in the present as perspective on the past, some really amazing connections are made. They start to really feel the joy of discovery, and I'm hoping it's kind of a spirit that they take with them forever in the future, and will keep making those connections. One thing that primary sources allow me to do in the classroom is encourage students to see that the past is really a big mystery, still to be solved. That sort of metaphor in using primary sources, it brings things alive for the students. It's more exciting, and I think they feel empowered that they can bring something to the table. They can help solve a mystery. They can help figure out who done it or what happened. And that sort of blows open what they often bring into the classroom, is this sense that history is already settled and figured out. It's not. So primary sources really bring it all alive.